Hi and welcome to another video. My name is Ilse and today I'm going to tell you what I read for the month of July. So for the month of July, So for the month of July, I read a couple books. It was the Reading Rush week, also happening in July, which was also the week that I went back into work. So needless to say, it was a week. I actually did a weekly reading vlog for the Reading Rush, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link up here in the eye. It's 30 minutes long, approximately. I think it's 30 or 35 minutes long, but I think you'll enjoy it because I think I took my time to actually like record myself, tell you what I was doing and how was my progress going. So if you want to check that out, please go do that. So I'm going to tell you what I read for the month of July. I had really good reads. I'm really excited to say that I think I'm going back into my reading groove, except for after the Reading Rush because I had like a little reading slump going on, and then I started rewatching Glee, and yeah, Kevin can relate to this because he recently said that he had been rewatching that. So I feel you, Kevin. I feel you. Either way, let's get into the books. One of the books that I started reading actually was when Kevin was here. I picked up a book and we read it like on the side of the pool and stuff because we were tanning because I didn't tan at all. Either way, so I picked up Verity by Colleen Hoover, and I would just like to say that Colleen Hoover is one of my favorite authors. If you guys did not know that, she's one of my favorite authors, and I love this book. I heard mixed reviews for this book, but it's very different for what she's used to. This is kind of like a thriller, not really a thriller, it's like a suspense type of book, and it kind of leaves you thinking if the main character was crazy or maybe the other characters were crazy, and maybe like it just lets you thinking because you don't know what's real and what's not at this point at the end of this book, and it really creeped me out. So Verity basically follows a girl who is the author. Well, not she's the author. She is an author, and she is not really going, like, her career is not really going great, and she is contacted by this publishing company to finish up some books in a series, a thriller series, and in order to do that, in order to complete this series, she needs to gather all the notes from this previous author who has been in a very bad car accident, and her name is Verity. So things start to unfold really quickly, and things just take a really creepy turn also. So if you're interested in creepy, confused, you should read this. I really love this. I actually finished this for also a 24-hour readathon with Claudia at Cloud Reads Books. I'm also going to leave the link in the eye if you want to check that out. I really enjoy it. So yeah. The next book that I read, I'm actually really happy about because this book, I had it on my bookshelf since it came out, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I had this book since it came out, 2017, and I had not read it. I recently started following Books with Chloe, who is fucking adorable. I love her videos and I love her, even though she doesn't know me personally and I haven't really talked to her. But either way, I decided to pick this up because of her, because she really loves it, and I think it's one of her favorite books at the time or at this moment. So I decided to pick it up. I also picked this up for my 24-hour readathon with Claudia, and needless to say, I loved it. I have no idea why it took me so long to read this. I'm so mad at myself, but at the same time I'm happy because I mean, I had it and I just picked it up, so yeah. I tapped it a little bit, not a lot, because I had some of my favorite parts there, or some like interesting scenes. But I really love this book. If you do not know about this book already, like I said, this book came out in 2017, so you should know about this book. But this book basically is about Laszlo Strange, who is basically a librarian in this big ass city, and I'm having a hard time like gathering my thoughts, so bear me. So basically he's very interested in this kingdom called Kingdom of Weep. That's not the real name because apparently some magic happened and erased this kingdom. So he is led into the Kingdom of Weep in this caravan where he's about to discover a lot of things happening, and basically just things unfold. I'm not great at explaining things, but it's a fantasy novel. It's very character driven. I love this book, and the writing is fucking beautiful. Laini Taylor does such a beautiful job with her writing that I cannot. I actually read the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. If you did not know that, I actually have a video reviewing this entire series. It's an old video, but it's there. I basically adored it. A lot of people don't like it because it has insta-love. I personally do not think it's insta-love, but that's just me. So yeah, that's basically it. I love the world. I love her writing, and I love her characters. Like, her characters, I think, are like the most things that I adore, apart from like the world building and everything. But I just really love this book. I still need to pick up Muse of Nightmares. So yeah, maybe I'll get it for my birthday. I don't know. Hopefully this month. This month's my birthday, hopefully. So the next books that I read was actually part of the reading rush. Now we're getting into the reading rush part here. Saga Volume 6 and Saga Volume 7. I read this really quickly. I think I read them in like an hour and a half, or almost 2 hours, like an hour or so. And I really enjoyed it. I had until Volume 7, this one. So I started reading them and I really enjoy it. These comic books are so good. Like, the characters in this comics are just so great. Like, so great. I don't know if they're comics. They're comics, right? Comics, graphic novels. You know, I really enjoy them. I think they're one of my favorite graphic novels out there. I think they have until Volume 9, I believe. I still need to pick them up, but I'm definitely going to keep going with this series, or saga. See what I did there? Yeah. So I'm really excited. If you guys did not know, Saga is based on a star-crossed lovers sort of thing in outer space, and you get to know all those different characters that they get in contact with, and to just make their lives a little bit harder than they're supposed to be. You are one of those like sci-fi mature readers, I guess you could say. Maybe you could read these. These are really good. The next read is also inspired by Books with Chloe. I think she had read Crooked Kingdom. She had finished reading Crooked Kingdom, and I wanted to be part of that fandom. Plus, I have the 2 books for forever, so I decided to, like, why not? Sis of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Oh my god. So I have read the Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, like back in the day when BookTube was starting to pick up, and I really enjoyed it. I think I'm one of the few people that actually really enjoy the series or the trilogy. I'm also one of the few people who didn't like the Darkling. Well, that is not in love with the Darkling, so T again. But I really enjoy the Grisha world, the Grisha Trilogy world, and so I decided to buy these books when they came out, when I think Crooked Kingdom had came out, so I bought the two of them so I could read them back to back. But that did not happen, obviously, because I'm reading this right now. So either way, I read that, and thanks to Books with Chloe, I don't know why I keep saying your full channel name. I'm sorry. But she inspired me to read them because, like I said, I have had them in my shelf for so long. So I decided to pick it up. Now that I have picked it up, I really enjoy it. I love the characters so much. The world, obviously, the world is amazing. I have no complaints about the world. And I just really enjoy the characters. Like, the characters, like, interacting with each other. Perfect. So I really enjoy this book. If you guys did not know about Six of Crows, you have been living under a rock, and I'm not going to tell you what it is about, because I think that when I read this, I didn't even remember what it was about. So I just literally went in without knowing shit. I just know it takes part of the Grisha world. That's basically it. But I really enjoy it. You do not need to read the Grisha Trilogy in order to read this. So if you just want to pick this up, you can do it. If you're not in love with character development stories, maybe it's not the book for you. But if you do, it's great. It's fantasy, and I love it. So the next book that I read is actually Dumpling by Julie Murphy, and I adored this book. So this book takes place in Texas, where our main character, Willie Dean, is really signs up for her mom's pageant. She is known for her mom being like this beautiful person, like physically, and just, you know, like she's a pageant mom. And so Willie Dean decides to sign herself into this pageant because she wants to prove a point to her mom that no matter what size you are, that you can do anything, basically. And in the process, Willie Dean is going through all of these things, like emotionally. It kind of like puts her in the spot on her insecurities. And yeah, that's basically it. And this book made me cry so much. This book, I read it for the challenge on the Reading Rush, for reading a book with an adaptation, or reading a book and then its adaptation. So if you guys don't know Dumpling, it's a Netflix TV, not TV show, it's a Netflix movie, and it took me a lot of time to read this. I think this book came out 2015. Wow. So I just now read this book. Maybe a lot of people have read it already, maybe you have not, but I just love this book. Willie Dean has become one of my favorite main characters in the entire life because she is like me. She is fat. I'm fat. So it was kind of hard reading Willie Dean's, or being in Willie Dean's head, because those are my exact thoughts when I'm around people. Her insecurities are my insecurities. Like, I have this huge insecurity that people are looking at me because of the way I look. They're looking at my arms, my double chin, or my, you know, my stomach area. And I'm just so self-conscious about it, and it's hard. So reading Willie Dean talk about those things really hit home to me. It's something that I've struggled a lot of times, most of my life, all my life. So that's why it has become one of my favorite books. So the next book that I read is actually a book in Spanish, and it's by a YouTuber called Alberto Villarreal, who is also an author. And I read Ocho Lugares que me recuerdan a ti de Alberto Villarreal. I read this for also the Reading Rush, for Purple on the Cover, first debut novel, and I think there was another one, but I cannot remember. Cannot remember. But those are two of the chunks that I remember. And basically the story is about a boy who falls in love with a girl. She is from Spain, and basically, like, she out of the blue decides to move back to Spain. This takes place in Mexico, in Monterrey, where I live right now. And so the girl goes back to Spain without telling him, like, well, she tells him that she's leaving, but she doesn't really explain to him why. And basically he is like very hang up on the girl, and he's going through all of these phases of like heartbreak, and then there's other really major things that happen, and I was just like, whoa, that I did not expect that to happen. It's not my favorite, but I really enjoyed the way he was storytelling the whole entire thing. And I also love like the message that their first love, or you think that you're in love, and at the end it's not really love. It just needed to happen in order for you to find love, if that makes sense. And I really enjoyed that. Also, it was really funny at times, so I think that's a plus. The next book that I read is actually a poetry collection. It's a reread for me, and that is Loving You by Gretchen Gomez. I actually had read this before when it came out. I don't think you can buy this anymore. I think Gretchen took her out of her Amazon, but this is her debut novel, and debut poetry collection, and I reread it because I had wanted to reread this and just tab it with my favorite poems and stuff, and I did that. There are some poems here that really hit close to home, and I think Gretchen did an amazing job bearing herself, and just I think this is just like the best therapy she has to write. And if you guys want to know more about her, I'm gonna leave her Instagram down below. She posts poems there, not on a daily basis, but some days, and her poems are amazing. So if you want to check her out, please do. She also has a blog, and she started as a booktuber before. So yeah, I love this book so much. And I remember I bought it from her, well, from her Amazon when it was available, and I sent it to her so that she could sign it for me, because I love her and I wanted to support her. And yeah, maybe I'm gonna read one of my favorites. So here, this is one of my favorites. It says, I learned that life lets you meet people in order to find yourself. And sometimes you just come out stronger than before, because that's what life wanted out of you, a better person. So basically this is like a heartbreak poetry collection. Like, she was in a relationship, and then she's going through a lot of like the process of finding herself off that relationship. So yeah, the next book that I read is actually online, because I don't have a copy of it, but a lot of people have been talking about it, and that is Heartstopper by, oh my god, Alice Oseman. I'm so sorry. Basically this is a graphic novel, and I loved it. So basically it's a graphic novel about two boys that fall in love, and well, they find each other and they find love. And I just love it because it's so adorable and it's so cute. If you love those types of things, maybe you should read it. I'm hoping to read volume 2 soon. Like, I read first time books, and I need to buy the sequels, and I don't have them, and I have not read them, but I will soon, I promise. Yeah, I read Heartstopper and I find it really adorable and really cute. I cannot wait to read volume 2. That's basically it. So for the month of July, I read 9 books, and I'm really happy about it. I'm proud of myself. I beat the reading rush. I read 7 books. So holla. I'm so sorry that I'm not very creative with my videos, but I feel like everyone else has had more time to develop their channels, and I'm kind of still trying here. So if you're still watching this, thank you so much for looking at my video, for watching my video and supporting me, because it's been hard. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.